What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Anthony. Welcome to the Wrenched Out Experiment, and we are going to talk about, doing YouTube for 2 years now. Let's just kind of run through it real quick. We're going to make this a short video, but I thought it was time that we kind of talked about some of the goods, some of the bads, and some of the stuff in between. Now, our story, like most, has changed through time. I started off YouTube with just a couple of videos, just as kind of a fun thing. And I know I've talked about that in multiple of these recent motivation videos. But the interesting thing now is, where we're going and what we've learned, and really reflecting on both of those items. Some of the cool stuff with learning and growing is, number one, the abilities to use the cameras and the gear, the storytelling and all of that part of it, in which when you first start doing YouTube or really any kind of video content, you're not necessarily in the know and you're not really sure on how and what and where and all of that stuff. So through time and through a lot of other things, we have grown and we're going to continue to. But one of the coolest parts to me about all of this is all of the personal growth and everything that's come with it. So, from building up the Wrenched Out Garage, doing all of that stuff, it has its own channel, it's turned into its own thing. The Wrenched Out Experiment, I feel, is also part of that, to where it's finally starting to grow into its own thing. When we first started, I, was trying a little bit of everything to include the vlogs and to include everything else. And now, with running the current setup, I feel like I'm being, I'm building toward something instead of just randomly kind of doing stuff. So we're super proud and we're really loving that. And our journey has changed so many times over now. It's pretty awesome, though. I will say a couple of cool and interesting things, obviously, with doing the YouTube stuff is, the family and friend support, how it varies. And some people just don't flat out understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. Other people are super supportive. They watch the content, they comment, so forth and so on. And that's also awesome. And then there's everybody kind of in between. So as a part of the journey in itself, it's like, wow. The really cool part is getting to meet people and talk to them in the comments or get emails from them. I think that's a super unique thing, and I think it's very cool. Mostly because, you start hearing their stories, they have really interesting and cool questions or cool comments, and it helps me grow, because it's like, I have my views, I have the video and the contents, but I can only push myself so far without getting feedback and some kind of other person's reality in this stuff. Now, as I've said in some of the recent videos, we have some pretty major plans, and the cool part about even talking about the plans and doing some of the stuff is the ability to not only do it, but the ability to start thinking bigger and doing bigger videos and creating stuff that's completely different than what we kind of boxed ourselves into. So this is kind of the personal journey part of it, and motivation too. I mean, if you guys are kind of stuck in the rut, really look at what you're doing, look at what you enjoy doing, and kind of focus on that. That's the reason why I still do a lot of the firearm stuff. I absolutely love firearms. I like the conceal and carry, and it goes the same for the automotive. That's the reason I started the Wrenched Out Garage, and I turned it into its own channel, because that's a passion of mine. Talking about this stuff helps me. It's like putting pen to paper and then sharing it with people. I'm sitting here talking about all this stuff, and it really kind of gets the gears going, and then I'll watch this video in a couple of months and say, okay, what's the next step? And I'll keep pushing. So I hope you guys are pushing too, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, because we are working up a lot of cool new content. We've got new review videos coming out. We've got a handful of different firearm videos coming out, more of these motivational videos coming too. And I know that this is still kind of a newer segment into the wrenched out experiment. But the wrenched out experiment is, you know, kind of going from that, going into the, I guess, seasoning, you know, with going on to a couple of years now of shooting, and of course we're taking it more serious. We're dropping content more frequent. You know, I know that we've been dropping one a week. We're trying to get up to that 2 level a week, and that's the reason, the other reason we're doing these style of videos is I'm trying to cut out some of the you know, 3 or 4 day shooting videos, and then it takes a couple of days to edit them and so forth and so on, just so I can produce more content and get the stories out quicker than sooner. So that's kind of where we're at right now. You know, I was looking, one cool thing, and then we'll kind of wrap this up, is as I was looking through the video drops and all that stuff. I mean, really it was the fall of 2017 is when we really started to take the YouTube stuff serious, and we really started to push all of this. So I'm super excited for 2018. I hope you guys are too. If you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, make sure hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. And of course, give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this as well. And don't forget, we're on Instagram and Facebook, so make sure and check us out as there. And we'll see you guys in the next video.